Ladies and gentlemen, the F100 is back in the shop. I'm super pumped. This truck has been sitting for 3.5 years behind my grandma's house under a carport. Even though it was out of the rain, it is pretty filthy, so we'll be tackling that today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Jake. This is Scraping Pavement. You might also know me from Rohde Fabrication, which I actually kind of stemmed off of the channel into that business. Besides the point, this is my 1964 Ford F100. It is a short bed, custom cab. Originally had a straight 6. Someone swapped a V8 into it at one point, some sort of Ford V8, probably like a 305 or something. And I pulled that since, but this is the truck I am working on. This is the new project. A lot of you guys have been following since the original OG Purple Crush, which never got finished. So this is gonna get finished. I'm super happy. I'm bagging this truck. It's lane body, possibly door. At first, we're gonna throw in a Chevy V8 because I just have that, and we're on a budget starting off on this build. So the goal of this build is just to get it running and driving, and then we're going to make it nice as we go on. Although it'll be nice as we're building it, but get it running and driving because I'm tired of not having something cool. I mean, I got the little blue, but I need a nice bag truck that's lane body. Previously on the build, AKA loaner, we installed a monster C-notch, made up custom upper and lower links, new front cross member, a bag bridge. We got our shock mounts located. Out front, we haven't done anything. All we've done is pulled the motor out, pulled the leafs out, got rid of all the original wiring, the original battery box, and right now the axle is actually just welded to the frame so we can move it around the shop. Today we're just getting our toes wet, and we're going to be washing the truck and pulling the bed off. And what I've decided right off the rip is I want to get this bed out of the way, but I don't want to just take it off. And since this bed is rotted so much, we're going to cut the bed sides off, boom, boom, junk the rest. And then we can store that at home and have a little more room in the shop. So the back might look slightly different to where we left off. Right before I went into storage, I came in with a can of just brushable white Rust-Oleum paint just to try to prevent major rust. When we grabbed this truck from my grandma's house, my dad was helping me. We loaded it up on the flatbed and brought it here. He actually, on the way home when we were driving this thing back, which was only 10 minutes away from the shop, he got stung by a bee. And then when we pulled this truck in, I seen another bee flying around. So there's probably some sort of bee's nest somewhere in this thing. I'm hoping maybe that was with the 2 only bees and the rest fleed. So I know I've seen a bunch of spider webs. I am not into spiders. Let's see how heavy this bed is. Oh, that ain't too bad. Might be a little too sketch, but. Well, it's kind of working. Okay, that kind of works. But I need to position myself in a better manner. Can I stand on the bridge? I mean, I know the bridge is strong enough. Ooh, that might be it. Truck's trying to roll a little bit. Okay. Okay, not sketch at all. Stop rolling, truck. Here we go. Okay. Beautiful. Now we can see if we're about to get stung by a bee. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it out here, get it washed up before I cut into it, but I'm gonna take some preliminary measurements. The inner width, that is like dead nuts 65. But I thought this truck's a 64. 65 inches to the inside. Oh, maybe I can pivot. Let's try to pivot. Yeah, there we go. There we go. You know what's really great is these shoes I'm wearing gotta be the most comfortable, long-lasting, cheap-ass shoes I've found thus far. But man, you get in the water and they go right through. They're like breathable. So during Northwest winters, or half the year, they're just fucking wet, whatever. All right, so while I'm washing this thing up, I want to discuss some things that have changed. I'm married now. Not that that has anything to do with the channel, but for those that have been following along, I started this channel when I was 16 in high school. I'm now 30 years old, still fucking around with these fucking trucks. And I love it. Originally, when I started this build, I said, build a truck with a plan. It's gonna help save you headaches. Well, the plan has changed. Not much, just a little bit, but me and my wife, we went on a road trip, anniversary wedding trip. We eloped in Colorado. We were from Vancouver, Washington. That was a really fun trip. We took it in a little extra cab Toyota Tacoma with a canopy. Most of the time we slept in the back with a canopy because it was during October, so it was cold. So we were doing fairly long days on driving, so we didn't want to set up a tent every day and then tear it down. So that was the best way to do it. After doing that trip, I want to do more. And I want to do it in something cool. So the plan is to do road trips in this truck and to have a camper that is towed behind this little truck. How does that change things? We're staying with a V8. I have the 350 from Purple Crush, so that's just gonna go in here for now. I'm sure it'll be changed out later down the road when, you know, money isn't an issue. And then we're gonna build it to be more usable friendly. So no shaved doors. I wanted to do suicide doors. We're gonna leave them normal so it's super easy to get in and out of the truck all the time. Want to make sure there's plenty of fuel so we can drive decent distances before filling up. I was also thinking, how hard would it be to do the fuel where we could actually have an auxiliary port to fill up quads and dirt bikes? Because me and my family, we do ride dirt bikes and quads. We go trail riding up in the mountains and out in the desert. Sometimes we go to the dunes. Besides that, the bed needs to be usable so we can put stuff in it. So very flat, nothing crazy sticking out, as low as possible. We're gonna definitely have a spare tire mounted into the truck. A lot of people don't put spares into bag trucks. There are a few. Scott from Perfect Poise up in Northwest Washington, he's got a Mazda with a really cool spare mount that sticks up in the bed. If something goes wrong, how hard is it going to be to fix something? How hard is it going to be to get something out? So I want to make sure that wherever the spare tire is, it's not hard to get to. We don't need to like jack up the truck or anything. Obviously, we'll have to build a hitch into place. And lastly, For the actual camper setup, I want to build my own camper from scratch because I want to airbag it. And you're probably thinking, well, how reliable is that of having a bag truck with an airbag trailer camping? I feel like if you do everything proper, it'll be plenty reliable. Dirthead Shed, his off-road Mazda is on airbags. Like, if that doesn't tell you airbags can take some abuse, I don't know what else would. I mean, they're on semi-trucks and everything else. So the idea is to have spare parts that can be stored in the truck, you know, a tool set, a jack. So if anything does go wrong, we can hopefully be self-sufficient and fix things. With the camper setup, try to keep it as light as possible, a lot of aluminum, a lot of simple parts, and we're gonna keep it fairly small. My main thing is it's almost gonna be like glorified tent camping. So it's pretty much just gonna be able to house a nice comfy bed, somewhere we could stay dry, put our clothes where they always need to be, and have a permanent cook station. A trip in the winter, we don't have to worry about our tent because we've done some tent camps. I grew up tent camping with my parents since I was a kid. I still tent camp to this day. And the rain is one of the not so fun parts. If we can just have a nice shelter, place to eat, so we can just travel, stop, eat some food, go to bed on a nice comfy bed. Coming back to where I was saying, having parts and stuff, I want to try to build a truck on the same exact bag all the way around and on the same wheels all the way around, including the trailer, so that a spare can work wherever. A bag, I'll take like 1 or 2 bags that'll be stored somewhere. So if for some reason a bag blows, we could fix that, you know, extra airline, fittings, just really cover the inevitable. I'm so pumped now, the fact that I've kind of changed the plan of this truck to be more of a driver and to actually go across the country. I'm no longer building this. I mean, I'm gonna obviously take it to shows and whatnot, don't get me wrong there, but it's no longer about shows or anything like that. This is about having a cool truck that we can travel the US with and have a really fun time. And I mean, I'm almost more excited to build the trailer than even the truck now, but I'm still really excited to build this truck. So this is going to be a long time coming. You know, actually, Brian from Grinder TV in his latest upload on the red Toyota, he actually said, you know, build stuff that's not perfect and just drive it. And I'm behind that idea. I've always been behind the idea of driving your shit. I can't tell you how many shows I go to and people pull their trucks off their trailers wearing socks, park it, don't even start it, roll it into the spot, lift it back up, push it back on the trailer, get in it with socks. I get it. You know, you put hundreds of thousands of dollars into these trucks. You don't want to ruin them, but man, there's nothing cooler than a slam truck driving down the road. My first truck, I drove around mixed matched panel color, primer spots. I drew on the truck with Sharpie with characters. Eventually became all one primer color, but I gotta be honest, I love having it like that because, you know, people see that you're working on something, you're working towards something, and we don't all have money to have multiple rigs that we can also be driving. You know, there's a lot of people that these are daily drivers. You know, that's kind of what I want to do with this, is just get it driving, and then we'll tackle all the little details. Because believe it or not, time is a bitch. And if you don't actually get on your project, it'll never get done. It's kind of a scary thing to think about, but it happens. We got the bed cut away, rough cut. And we're gonna take it back home because the shop is small. And actually, speaking about the shop, I'm thinking about doing a new shop walk around since the last one. Last one's been, gosh, it's probably been 5 years at least now. Got some new tools, changed the layout of things, always trying to improve the flow of work and trying to maximize the space. And that's the big thing when you own a business is, what's your goal? Is your goal just to have freedom from a boss, or is your goal to grow an entire empire? I don't have that empire mentality. I just want to be able to do what I want. It's probably going to be better to do it like this. I'm thinking. One day we'll start making videos at the home garage, but still doing some home improvement things, and I don't have any welder or anything like that, so just makes more sense to do all the work here still while there's room. All right, blow our back out. Blue straps for the little blue. We have to go get gas before we go home, so when we fill the sucker up and have weight in the bed, it rubs the rim on the bed sides. That low life though. Good to go home. That's today's work. Let's wrap it up. That wraps up today's episode on the good old boy, the good old F100. It was great to finally touch it again. Hey, don't. No. That's it for today's episode. It was great to get back onto this truck. Didn't do a whole lot, but it was nice to get it cleaned up, cut the bed off, get that out of here. In the next episode and the next episodes after that, we're going to be tackling making sure this thing lays body. I mean, the main thing is front suspension. We're going to have to start figuring that out. And I think before we hit the front suspension, I'm going to make sure the truck lays rocker and door. So we'll get underneath the truck. I know there's a few rivets under the frame, so we'll get those cleaned off the frame so we know the frame's sitting on the ground, and then possibly just go right after it and pull the body off and make up new body mounts. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit intimidated. I've never built the front suspension completely from scratch. I've messed with uppers, lowers, mounts, lengthening and shortening. I never built something from scratch. We're gonna have to put a rack and pinion in this. So it's gonna be definitely a challenge. We'll just say that. Thank you guys for watching. I don't really like to say like, comment, and subscribe anymore. I feel like everyone's heard that, but if you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe, and comment if you have something to say. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep on trucking. Peace.